Let me take this opportunity and welcome you to this video. The question that I want to try to answer is, what is leadership? What is leadership? That is the question that I would like to contribute in trying to answer it. Leadership is about influence. When we talk about a leader, we are talking about a person who is able to influence other people. Now, the question is, do you just wake up and start to influence people? Influencing people on what? I think that is where I should again come in. For one to be considered a leader, one should have a dream. One should have vision. One should have purpose. One should have a mission. And it is when you have vision where you can call other people to come and follow your vision. Once you have vision as a leader, then you can start coming up with goals and objectives that will help you to achieve or to realize that vision. This implies that being a leader does not mean that a person should just sit down and wait for things to happen. Because up to now, you might have realized that all the things that I've mentioned earlier on, they involve planning. When you are a leader, you must plan before you start influencing people. People will like to follow a leader who has direction. This implies that you should be able to tell the people whom you want to influence where you are taking them to. People should be able to see the destination which you have in mind before they start following you. This implies that you must be able to take the destination that you have in your mind out of your mind and show your intended audience. Here I'm talking about influence. When your goals are smart, people will be able to follow you because they will realize that you are a smart leader. A smart leader will set smart goals. Smart in the sense that the goals that are being set are specific, are measurable, are achievable, are realistic, and time-bound. Smart leader will attract smart people. Smart leader will also be able to monitor the attainment of those goals because they are smart. Remember, when you are a leader, you should also monitor and evaluate the performance of your people. You should monitor and evaluate the performance of your organization. What I am trying to say here is that when you have direction, when you have goal in mind, when the goal that you have in mind is smart, people will be able to follow you. That is the influence that I'm talking about. You should be able to build an organization before it is there, meaning that you should have a vision of what you intend to achieve or to realize. All the organizations that exist today are the products of other people's mind. This means that as a leader, you should continue to think about your people. When I'm talking about leadership, I also think about the capability of coming up with a strategic plan, for example. Because a leader should be able to establish the strength of his organization. A leader must be able to establish the weaknesses of his organization. A leader should also be able to identify the opportunities which the organization can tap into. From the weaknesses, the leader should be able to identify the threats or risks that might endanger the organization. And having gathered all that, the leader should be able to come up with strategies that can help the organization to move forward. And that is where now we are able to say that this leader is smart. Because if you ask this leader, what are you going to do in the next 5 years? This leader will be able to say, I have this document. From this document, this is actually what we will be doing. In other words, when you are a leader, you are able to influence people based on the plan which is documented. You are able to say, this is the document that we have developed. And I have used we because a leader should involve people. That is when now we talk about stakeholders' involvement. A leader should keep stakeholders register, meaning that you should have a register or a list of stakeholders that has a role to play in your organization. When you want to influence your people, one way to do that is to involve them. Always involve the people you are working with. Always involve the people you are working with. Influence means involving. Now, I just want to say leadership is about people. Leadership is about a dream which needs to be realized. Leadership is about mobilizing resources. Leadership is about motivating people. It's about coaching and mentoring. But most importantly, leadership is about reflection. When we talk about reflection, we are talking about the ability to look back and review whatever you have done previously so that you can improve, so that you might be able to identify lessons that you can learn from your previous engagement. That is leadership. Leadership is also about allowing the people to voice out their concerns. It's about allowing people to come up with suggestions. It is about influencing people to an extent where they take the ownership of whatever is happening. That is leadership. Leadership is not about you as a person. Leadership is about you as an organization. It's about you as a team. And once we talk about a team, we are talking about common objective. Meaning that when you are a leader, you must make sure that people are able to have focus towards that particular objective. And they can only be able to do that once there are principles that guides and govern the activities of that institution. What are the values that each and every member of that organization should have? This is very important because behavior needs to be channeled towards the attainment of that objective. What is leadership? Leadership is about influence. And if leadership is about influence, it means You need people in order to be a great leader. Thank you very much. Leadership is about influence. I thank you.